This was so helpful and so inspiring. What kind of resistance did you get from local authorities? Was everybody from day one convinced about everything you wanted to do, and were they supportive and in agreement?
Yeah, so actually the one of the chart that Amanda shows, right, the one that the organization flow is quite messy. It's because, you know, in Bali, in Indonesia, there is no government regulation how they will manage the waste. So that's why a lot of this process is actually done from the ground up. There's a lot of private company that does that. So when we actually start doing this, we actually have a really good response from the government, and we also have a good response from other companies. I think Amanda can explain more. We have the minister coming in. We have United Nations coming in also. They want to set our business management system to be the Indonesian standard implementation for that. So we're really grateful for that opportunity.
Yes, if I
Yeah,
may
I mean
add on that.
it's a small effort from us, yeah, but I think the hope is that we want to get as much collective that can join us. Sorry, Amanda, go ahead.
No, that's all right. Thank you. Because here in Bali, everything is community based. So I think that's the reason why we are so lucky to be on the island. And because of its community based, of course, it's word of mouth. So that's the reason why now we have a lot of ministries coming to Potato Head to see our waste management system, and they use us as an example because we were also invited into a workshop to make a regulation for Indonesia on the waste management. So yes, I think it's not more like an obstacle or how they help us, but I think it's because of the community movement, it's because of the movement on the island that is now seen by the central government, and they come to us and learn from us, and they are actually quite surprised that we have all of this in our property.
Yeah, I think the key is that not criticizing the government so much, but really open-minded, and then really we wanted to have a solution for everyone. So I think that's where they might come in a bit easy to us, maybe.
And everything you've shown us, it couldn't have been more relevant because in the coastline of Freetown in Sierra Leone, there's a huge problem of ocean plastic, and it severely impacted the fishermen and local businesses. So, I mean, we would really love to understand that open source blueprint you have a little bit more. And if you could share it with us, and we can respond with questions and, you know, just look at it in a little bit more detail.
I have a couple questions. How long
Sure.
does the plastic brick, how long is it expected to be usable, or how long, what do you think its lifespan is?
I mean, we don't know what the lifespan. We actually test it from the structural strength. And when we tested, I believe it was over 400 psi. So 400 psi, it's similar to a very high strength paving.
I think the good news and the bad news is plastic is strong and is here to stay. So
Yeah.
we have to deal with, we're going to have to deal with it. And so the bad news is we're going to have to deal with it. And the good news is it's going to last. We're not going to have to worry about it going away quickly.
What's your process been like working with local craftsmen, but with you know, recycled streams of waste?
Yeah, I think so far we've been found it very positive way, because when we approach this, of course, it's at least for the two of us, something that we haven't done before. So we're not really constrained by the normal things. So I think everyone was very excited, of course, when we started doing this. And you know, being them as a craft, you know, they always get really passionate about what they're doing. So when we give them, a new material, of course, they were always trying to figure out how to actually, develop this thing. So it's been great, really.
Have you ever thought about making a roofing material out of like a thatched plastic roof? Is that
Currently, no, but we do have some people that we've been discussing.
Hmm.
Actually, the company that we work to develop that ceiling, they're currently working on a project in Dubai, and they're actually developing a weaving roofing. They're able to tap into some great resources and great partner to help develop on that.
Yeah.
We do make a lot of weaving, whether it's from the old recycled billboards that we make it into mats.
Are
Yeah.
there a lot of places that we're going to have problems because the processes are expensive, or are there ways to do these things that are very cost effective?
I'm sure there's a lot of way that you can do this a very cost effective way. Like for example, when we start a lot of our first product, we actually tap into precious plastic open source as well. We use a lot of their initial equipment, starting from a simple drum. We intentionally do that because we want this to be accessible to anyone. And then also, if you're looking at recycled plastic, right? I mean, recycled plastic, there's already an industry for that. You can find recycled plastic, you can buy recycled plastic from China, and they're high quality, but they are already industry process. Because of that, of course, the price for those plastic pallet is higher.
Yeah.
So what we use here, we don't use the plastic pallet, we use the plastic strap. It's actually something that we create, it's using a simple machine. So that's just another way that we can try. So there is that option, there is that balance, that which way that you wanna take. But I think for us, it only makes sense if the project is sustained, if the project is reasonable. Sometimes maybe if you want to get the message across, maybe we need to sell it that high, but it's not for the mass. It's just about getting the value so that people understand, oh, this is actually a piece of art. Maybe this is a very high quality design, a very expensive chair, and so forth. But of course, once you get to a building material, I think it needs to be accessible.
I love your presentation, but I'm really curious about the bottle strap you make with recycled PET plastic, and like, how do you make it that is strong but also strong enough to sustain like being a furniture, but also flexible enough to be like woven? Like, how do you make that happen?
Yeah. So basically, the plastic that you use is actually it's HDPE, PET. They're actually the high quality plastic. So by its own mix and formula, that's already a very strong plastic. I mean, the ceiling is quite straightforward. Basically, it's a weaving. For the furniture, there's actually an inner membrane. The inner membrane is actually made from recycled aluminum, and then that's just create the profile, and then it's being wrapped by the bands.
Please.
Okay. Because your model is really based on how Bali community and culture works, basically, because you're collaborating. Do you think you can export this way of working into another country or another city that's maybe not island based?
Yeah, I think so. I think we do get a lot of requests to help another properties or other community to set up this kind of facility. Mostly when we do the R&D lab, where we process the plastic, we're making it into something. So I think generally throughout most places in the world, they have the same issue from the trash.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the low poly plastic that is not usually recycled?
for us, it's really finding that new meaning for that plastic, right? Because we know the HDPE or all the other high quality plastic, if you dump it to the landfill, someone will sort it out. But of course, we don't want to do that, even though it goes to landfill. There's so much energy goes into it. There's people need to sort, blah, blah, blah. But there's already a market to do that, right? So I think we really trying to tap into this material, that this waste that, you know, that the industry won't buy back. And so it's not just that. Like, for example, Amanda show a list of material that we generate from our waste. I think there's about 20 lists. So those 20 lists, actually, we keep it in the back of our office, that we keep in track. So the moment that we have an R&D for every of this waste, we cross it and then we move into the next one. The reason that we started is that we want to have a solution from the problem that we have. It's not because we want to do it just for the sake of doing something out of recycled material, but it's really to have that solution, how to not have all of this end up in the landfill. Yeah.
When you're using 100% of the fish in your meals, what are you doing with the fish bones and the fish scales, and how do you sneak them in so nobody notices?
We turn it into some kind of bonito flakes. In Japanese, you have this flakes on top of your rice, and the
Yeah.
scale and the fish bones, we dry it, so we put it in the dehydrator, so it becomes in the texture of the chips, and then we just crush it and sprinkle it.
It is
It is
really tasty,
tasty.
actually.
Yes.
I'll try that at home.
No, you have to come to our restaurant in Bali.
Yeah, that's what I'll have to do. Yes, actually.
Hello, my name's Simon. I was just wondering if there's any other craftsmen or artists or designers or firms that you guys are maybe inspired by right now, or that you would be excited to work with in the future?
I mean, some of the designer that we currently work on is with Andrew Carula. He's from Spain. And there's also Max Lam, he's from the UK. And now there's quite a lot Indonesian designer also that is starting up on looking at either organic waste or inorganic waste. So there's a lot of bio-waste material now that
Previously worked with Futura 2000, New York-based artist, the gravity artist, to build the sculpture made out of 888 kilogram of recycled plastic.
So this is actually his first tattoo that was done here in Bali. It's quite amazing.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Lillian. I was wondering about, since this is a nonprofit, when you first started it up and had already like established a brand image, was it personal investment that got it going, or was it donors or other investors from maybe Bali or people that really believed in you? Like, how did that whole financial business startup part of this work out?
Amanda, you want to answer that or me? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the nonprofit is for the waste facility that we're building, that we're going to open in February. But this whole Potato Hat Beach Club Suites and Studios is a business, so it's a for-profit. So yes, so basically the money is generated from the business. Yeah, and also the lab, when we first opened the waste lab, it's self-funding from our operation. So for example, my department, the sustainability department, we got some percentage of the revenue from our hotels and the beach club. So that's how we self-funded the lab, basically.
I think you're doing really usually they say it takes about 7 years to get business up and running. And so the fact that you're doing all of this in 5 years, I think it may seem like you're trudging along, but I think it's remarkable how much you've accomplished in such a short amount of time.
Thank you.
It's really inspiring.
It's been a pleasure really to talk to you and to in front of the children. I hope this gives a bit of inspiration.
Yeah, it's been very inspiring to us. And just a warning, you're going to hear from us again.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Pleasure.
So thank you so, so much.
Great. We're here anytime if you guys need any help or any more future discussion, we're always here.
Okay, wonderful. So wonderful to meet you and thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.